Hey guys, it's Stella. Welcome back to the channel. If I just put out like the most amazing thumbnail and you guys were just like, I just can't help but click it, but I don't know who this girl is. I am Stella and I am a flight attendant with a major US airline. I had been furloughed up until maybe a few weeks ago. We found out we were all being recalled. So this is an update video on that process. Make sure your tray tables are in their upright position, your seats are locked, and we're ready to go. You guys, I don't even remember the announcements. I haven't worked for like October, November, December, and now we're into January. I'm like forgetting my announcements. I'm gonna have to like do a refresher course. Let you guys know on my last video, I was like breaking news. I had just found out the night before that I was awarded my base and I was awarded DCA. I had a lot of you guys congratulating me and saying, oh wow, we thought you were still New York based. Like, no, I am no longer New York based. I haven't been New York based for a while. We moved to Washington, D.C. So now the base that I work out of is DCA. That's Ronald Reagan International Airport. So why is it DCA? DCA, but it's like Reagan National, maybe it's just Reagan National International Airport. Look at it. It'll be on the screen down here below. I'm so thankful that I was awarded DCA because there were 8,000 flight attendants that were furloughed. So all 8,000 of us had to bid on which base we wanted to go to. Everything in flight attendant world is based on seniority. So the more years that you have, the better seniority number you have. So out of the 8,000 flight attendants, I was just about 2,000 below the top, which is good because 2,000 people ahead of me will get their base assignments first, and then below me, the 6,000 will have to wait and see what I choose, and then they'll get their base assignments. There was some displacements. There were some flight attendants that maybe were, New York based and they got Dallas or they got Boston. They got their second or third choice. They didn't get their number one choice. That's a really hard thing because if you're displaced, now you go back to work and our first month back is a reserve month. So we have to serve reserve our first month back. And if we're not at our home base, you have to basically commute in for your trips and your reserve assignment. It's not like the end of the world if you weren't assigned your base. So like if I was assigned New York or maybe I got Dallas, I think like Dallas was my second choice. I think Chicago was like my third. If I would have gotten awarded one of those bases, I still could have managed, I could have done it. It just would have been a little bit harder because you start your trip at your home base and you end your trip at your home base. So if I were Dallas based, I would have had to flown into Dallas, then work my trip, and then at the end of my trip, I would have gone back to Dallas and then have to fly back to DC. So for the flight attendants that were displaced and didn't get their home base, they can still bid on that base. So they're not locked in. They don't have to like stay at that base forever. They can request to be transferred to their home base. I am just so thankful that I got DCA because it's literally like a 15-minute drive away from me. When I was New York based, I lived in the city. I lived in Hell's Kitchen, and to get to LaGuardia, JFK, Newark, like, oh my God, I would literally have to leave like 2 to 3 hours before my trip. I either had to take a car, I had to take the subway, like lugging my luggage and my uniform and my heels, like walking through the subway. It's such a glamorous, exciting city, the city that never sleeps, but it is very hard to actually live in New York City. Like, but I still miss it. I still miss it like all the time. Me and Bart talk about our favorite restaurants and our view from our apartment. Do you guys remember that view? Oh, it was gorgeous. So 1, I got my base. Thank you. I got DCA. 2, did you guys catch it? I have to serve reserve in March. I have not done a reserve month in so long. So reserve is basically, for flight attendants, it's basically being on call the whole month. It is so stressful because you're basically on call like the whole day. It used to be 24 hours you were on call. Now the company has gone to like a different method. So it's like a 12-hour on-call shift. 24-hour on-call is really, really hard. So I'm so thankful that they switched it to 12-hour shifts. But that is still really hard too, because if you get the night shift, you're like sleeping, you have to put your phone on high, you have to like turn your fan off, and like if that phone rings, you have to answer it. Or if you don't answer it, you get 15 minutes to call back and get your assignment, or else it's a missed trip. So being on call is super stressful. And then even if they call you and they say, okay, you've got to get to the airport, we've got a trip for you, they only give you a few hours to get there. So you have to like get ready really quick, like get yourself together, mentally prepare, and then like go to the airport. The reserve is just really stressful. The only thing that's guaranteed are your days off. And then all the days that you're on reserve, you can either work them or like, you guys have seen my vlogs in the past. I'm like, ooh, crew scheduling has 2 minutes to call me to give me a trip. And then like when they don't, I'm like, yes, I don't have a trip, I can go back home. You really can't like go to the movies, or like, not that anyone's going to the movies right now, but you can't like go, you really don't want to be anywhere where you're going to be too far away from home, because if crew scheduling calls you, you have to get back home, you have to get ready, and you have to head straight over to the airport. It's just a little bit stressful because I haven't served reserve in a really long time. Typically reserve is for like really junior people, but now that, you know, just this crazy year and everything going on, now I am considered like super, super junior. So yes, Flight Attendant Stella will be serving reserve in March. You guys will be with me for all of the craziness. There was also one other thing I was gonna tell you guys. Oh yeah, I set up my fingerprint appointment. So all 8,000 flight attendants that were furloughed have to be fingerprinted, and I don't know why we have to be re-fingerprinted. It's random. But I got a call from Flight Services. I got a call from Flight Services last night, and I scheduled my fingerprint. So I will be getting fingerprinted not next week, but I think the week after. Get my fingers ready for that. My hair is just like so out of control. Are you guys liking this curly hair? It's so much fun. I feel like I'm so like ferocious. I love it. And I even like always like put it to the side here and try to get it like as high as it can possibly go. Getting really excited to go back to work. I'm hoping that travel starts picking up a lot more and people start booking their vacations and things are safe and we can kind of get back on track in 2021. Just excited. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll keep you updated. And everybody new who clicked on this amazing, awesome video, hello, welcome. And yeah, subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.